Jack Carter opened his eyes to chaos. Bright lights flashed across the ceiling. Strange alarms echoed in the room. His wrists were locked in cold metal restraints. He was lying on a narrow bed, surrounded by walls that glowed with pulsing blue. Lines. His head pounded. His heart raced. He was not on Earth. He had no idea where he was. A door slid open in front of him. A creature entered, tall and thin. Its skin was silver with faint patterns glowing on its arms. The eyes were large and black, with no pupils. It spoke slowly, its voice flat and strange. "You are the father. The child is yours." Jack stared at the alien. He wanted to laugh, or scream, or run, but he was locked in place. "What did you just say?" he asked. "You are the father. The child is yours," the voice repeated. Another figure stepped into the room. This one was different. She looked more human than the first. Her skin shimmered with soft light. Her hair floated around her face like it moved on its own. Her eyes were bright gold. She walked with power, with anger. She stopped at the end of the bed and stared at Jack with fire in her eyes. "You left me," she said. "You left your child." Jack's mouth opened, but no sound came out. He was frozen. His voice finally returned. "I don't even know who you are." The woman stepped closer. Her face showed pain beneath the anger. "You promised to stay. You promised to protect us. And then you vanished. I've never seen you before in my life." Jack shouted. "I don't even know where I am." The door closed behind them. The alarms faded. The room fell quiet except for the soft hum of machines. The first alien moved to a screen. It tapped the surface. Symbols shifted and changed. Then a display appeared in the air. A twisting double helix strand. "DNA." The alien pointed. "Your DNA. It matches with the child. 100%. Jack looked at the floating image. He shook his head. "This is wrong. I've never been here. I've never given anything to anyone. You have the wrong guy." The silver alien turned to him. "There's no error. You were part of the Genesis program. Human samples were taken from Earth. You were selected. Your DNA was used for reproductive fusion. I never gave permission." Jack said. The woman crossed her arms. "I did. I was told it would be safe. I was told the father would be ready. But you vanished." Jack tried to think, tried to remember anything, but nothing came. Just a heavy fog. "Who are you?" he asked. "My name is Nariah," she said. "I am the one who carried the child." "Your child?" Jack's breath caught. "This can't be real." "It is real," she said, "and the child is sick. He needs you. Without you, he will die." Jack's body went cold. His mind was spinning. He had never even been in space. He was a system engineer back on Earth. A boring life, a lonely one. And now he was in a nightmare, or maybe something even worse. "The child was born 2 days ago," Nariah continued. "He is part human, part Dathari. His systems are failing. Human children need emotional connection. Our doctors did not understand that. Now it may be too late." Jack's voice trembled. "What do you want from me?" "Stay with him," she said. "Hold him. Speak to him. Your presence might save him. It is the only hope." Jack pulled at his restraints. "Let me go. I want to see him." The silver alien moved to the panel again. The locks clicked open. Jack sat up slowly. His legs were weak. The air felt thin. Nariah turned and walked to the door. Jack followed her through the hallway. They passed more aliens. Some stopped to stare. Others whispered. The corridor glowed with soft light. Jack saw windows showing stars outside. They were deep in space. They reached a chamber with curved walls. Inside was a small glass pod. A baby floated in soft blue light. Tubes ran from the pod to machines around it. A soft sound came from the pod, a slow heartbeat. Jack stepped closer. The child was tiny. His skin had a soft shimmer like Nariah's, but his eyes, though closed, looked human. His hands were small. His chest moved weakly. "This is Aaron," Nariah said. "Your son." Jack stared. In silence, something inside him shifted. A pull in his chest, a feeling he had never known. His breath caught again. "He looks like me," he whispered. The pod opened with a soft hiss. Nariah lifted the child carefully and placed him in Jack's arms. The baby's skin was warm, fragile. His tiny hand reached up and touched Jack's chest. And then something happened. The machines beeped. The readings rose. The child's heartbeat grew stronger. His breathing settled. Jack looked down. The baby opened his eyes. They were glowing blue, alive, curious. Naraya watched in shock. The silver alien entered the room, reading the screen. "This is impossible," the alien said. "No one expected a human bond to be this strong." Jack held the child close. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. In that moment, everything changed. He was no longer just a man pulled into a mistake. He was a father, and no force in the galaxy could take that away from him. Jack sat in the quiet chamber, holding the child in his arms. Aaron slept peacefully, his small body pressed against Jack's chest. The machines nearby showed calm rhythms. For the first time since Jack arrived on the alien station, the room felt still. Naraya stood nearby. Her arms were folded, but her expression had softened. She watched Jack carefully, like she was trying to understand something she had never seen before. "Why is he responding to me like this?" Jack asked without looking up. "Because he is human," Naraya said. "Part of him is from your world. Part of him needs more than machines and science. He needs connection, emotion, something our kind never learned." To give Jack slowly rocked the child. He still felt like this was a dream, a strange one. But Aaron was warm, real, alive. "I still don't get it," Jack said. "I never gave anyone my DNA. I never signed up for anything like this. How did this happen?" Naraya looked at the silver-skinned alien standing near the door. The alien stepped forward. "I am Dr. Selix," he said. "I was in charge of the Genesis program. We collected human DNA samples from Earth using remote scans. No physical contact, just traces from medical systems and public spaces. You took my DNA without asking." Jack said sharply. "Yes," Selix replied. "It was part of a long-term study. We believed your species was not ready to be included in galactic society. But your emotional chemistry was unique. We wanted to test it." Jack stood up, still holding Aaron. "So I was part of a test, an experiment." Selix nodded. "You were matched with a volunteer, Naraya. She wanted a child. She agreed to use foreign DNA. You were selected for compatibility." Naraya looked away. "I never knew your name. They said you would be present when the child was born. Then they told me you refused, that you disappeared. I believed them." Jack's jaw tightened. "I never knew any of this. I never left. I was living my life, working on machines, fixing power grids. I was just a regular guy." Selix tapped the panel. A screen showed strange symbols. "The child's biology is different. His cells are unstable. The fusion of human and Dathari DNA created something new. He was not supposed to survive past one day, but he did." Jack looked down at Aaron. "And now he is still unstable," Selix said. "Only your presence is keeping him alive. The bond is real. It affects his brain, his heart, his very cells." Jack felt the child move slightly in his arms. A small sigh escaped from Aaron's lips. Jack gently brushed the baby's head. "So what happens if I leave?" he asked. "He dies." Selix silence filled the room again. Jack walked toward a small bench and sat down. Naraya followed. She sat across from him. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Naraya finally asked the question that had been burning in her mind. "Why do you care?" Jack looked up. "What, you had no idea this child existed? You were taken from your world, lied to. Why do you still care about him?" Jack took a breath. He looked at Aaron, then at her. "Because he's mine now, whether I asked for it or not. He's here. He's real. He's breathing. I won't walk away from him." Naraya's eyes dropped. She nodded slowly. "I wanted to be a mother. Our people don't understand love. We choose parenthood for status. I thought I would be different. I thought I would feel something when he was born. But I didn't. Not until I saw you hold him." Jack raised an eyebrow. "You felt something then?" "I felt human," she said. Quiet live door to the chamber opened. A group of aliens entered. They wore robes with sharp edges. Their eyes were cold. Selix turned quickly. "These are the speakers of the Growth Council," he said. "They oversee the future of all young in our society." One of the robed figures stepped forward. "You have created a problem," the speaker said. "This child is not authorized. His DNA is unregistered. He cannot be part of our system. He must be taken for observation and study." Jack stood up fast. "You're not taking him." The speaker stared at Jack with no emotion. "You are not part of our world. You have no voice here." Naraya stepped beside Jack. "He is the father. He has every right. The speaker turned toward her. You broke protocol. You used off-world DNA. You allowed emotions to interfere. You will be punished. Jack held Aaron tighter. I don't care what your laws are. This child is staying with me. Sellex moved between them. You can't take the child now. His condition is too weak. Removing him will kill him, then he will be removed. When he is stronger, the speaker said, and you will both be detained for questioning. Jack looked round. He could feel the pressure building. He needed to get out, to protect the baby, to get answers. Where's the nearest exit? He whispered to Niryash, hesitated, then nodded toward a hallway behind the chamber. Medical tunnels, maintenance level. Jack nodded. His heart was racing. He leaned toward Nariah. Are you with me? She looked at Aaron, then back at Jack. I'm with you. In one fast move, Jack turned and ran toward the back tunnel. Nariah followed. Alarms screamed. Voices shouted. The council chased after them. Jack ran through the narrow halls, clutching the baby close to his chest. The lights flickered. The ground shook. Behind him, Nariah shouted directions. Left, now right. Keep going. They burst through a maintenance door. Pipes hissed overhead. Strange machines rumbled. Jack's chest ached. His arms were tired. But he didn't stop. He would not lose Aaron. They reached a dark chamber filled with storage crates and wires. Nariah sealed the door behind them. Jack sat down, gasping. The baby was still safe. Nariah placed her hand on Jack's shoulder. We have one chance to fix this, she said. We need to find help. Real help. There are others who know the truth. But they live in the lower sectors, far from the council. Then take me there, Jack said. I'm not going back. Not without saving him. Nariah nodded. Her eyes met his. Something new had begun between them. Not just survival, but something deeper, a shared purpose, a family born in the most impossible way. The lower sectors of the station were nothing like the shining halls above. Pipes leaked steam. Lights flickered. Walls were covered in strange marks, drawn by hands that had long vanished. Jack followed Nariah through the tunnels. He carried Aaron close to his chest. The baby slept, warm and calm, unaware of the chaos around him. Nariah led him to a hidden door. She pressed her hand against a panel. A faint click echoed. The wall opened into a small, dim room. Inside, an alien nurse waited. Her skin was pale purple. Her eyes soft. She wore no uniform, just plain cloth. She bowed her head when she saw Nariah. You came, she said. Thank you, Rena. Nariah replied. Rena walked to Jack. She looked at Aaron with gentle eyes. So this is the child, the one born of two worlds. Jack nodded. His name is Aaron. He's my son. And they want to take him. Rena placed her hand on Jack's shoulder. Then you must fight, but not with weapons, with truth. She led them deeper into the hideout. It was a network of old rooms filled with rebels, thinkers, and others who had once questioned the council. Some were scientists, others were parents, who had lost their children to the system. They all stared when they saw Aaron. Some whispered. Others reached out to touch his small hand. One old alien stepped forward. He wore a robe with golden threads. His face was lined with age, but his eyes burned with wisdom. I am Vorn, he said. I was once a speaker. I left when I saw what they were doing. Jack looked him in the eye. Can you help me keep my son? Vorn nodded slowly. There is a way, but it is not easy. You must stand before the tribunal of bloodlines. You must claim full parental rights. Jack frowned. And if I lose, then the child becomes property of the state. Vorn said. They will take him, study him, use him. Jack held Aaron tighter. Then I can't lose. Nariah stepped beside him. I will stand with you, as his mother, as his protector. Vorn placed his hands on both their shoulders. Then prepare. The tribunal will hear your case tomorrow. That night, Jack could not sleep. He sat in a small room, holding Aaron, watching his soft breathing. He whispered stories. Stories of Earth, of trees and oceans, of stars and laughter. I don't know how to be a father, he said quietly, but I'll learn. I promise you that. Nariah watched from the doorway. She said nothing, but her heart felt something deep, something she had never known before. Morning came quickly. The tribunal chamber was vast, cold, built from black stone. Rows of alien leaders sat high above. They wore masks. Their eyes watched from the shadows. Jack and Nariah stood in the center. Guards flanked them. Sellex stood behind, silent. The head speaker rose. You stand accused of illegal bonding, unauthorized reproduction, emotional tampering. How do you plead? Jack stepped forward. I plead human. I plead father. I plead protector. The chamber grew quiet. The speaker pointed a long finger. You are not of this world. You have no rights here. Jack looked around the chamber. Then maybe your world needs to change. A murmur spread through the crowd. The speaker turned to Naraya. And you? Do you admit to breaking the code? Naraya raised her head high. I admit to loving my child. I admit to learning from the one you called outsider. The speaker banged a gavel. You wish to keep the child, but your claim is weak. The child belongs to the state by design. His life is unstable. He must be studied. Jack stepped forward again. Then look at him. Look at what happens when he's with me. He held Aaron high. The baby stirred. His tiny eyes opened. Glowing blue filled the chamber. He is alive because of love, Jack said, because I chose him. Because I stayed. A female speaker stood up. Emotion is not proof. Biology is not enough. We require witness. Rena stepped into the chamber. I will speak, she sage bowed before the tribunal. I cared for the child since birth. I saw the changes. He was fading. But when the father arrived, something shifted. No medicine caused it. No science. Only presence. Only human connection. Another elder stood. The child is not a danger. He is a bridge, a new beginning. Perhaps we must listen. The head speaker slammed the gavel again. This is not a place for beginnings. This is law, and by law, the child belongs to us. Jack took a deep breath. He looked at Naraya. She nodded. Then Jack stepped forward. Then I demand the right of claim. The chamber gasped. Vorin stepped in from the shadows. It is old law, rarely used, but still valid. A parent may challenge the council for full rights, but if they lose everything. The head speaker stared at Jack. Do you understand what you ask? Jack nodded. I do. Then the trial begins. Now a circle formed. Lights flickered. Jack was pulled into the center. He was shown visions, images from Aaron's memories, his pain, his hope, his heartbeat. Then he was shown his own memories, moments from his life, his sadness, his loneliness, his choices. The voices of the tribunal echoed. Do you accept him as your blood? Yes. Do you protect him with your life? Yes. Do you choose him over your world? Yes. Silence followed. Then the lights faded. The tribunal whispered. After long minutes, the head speaker rose. The child is yours. The state will not interfere. But if he becomes a danger, we return. Jack exhaled. Naraya ran to him. Together, they held Aaron between them. Cheers rose from the crowd below. Rena smiled. Vorin bowed his head. Outside the chamber, the stars waited. But Jack knew this was only the beginning. They had won the fight for custody. Now they had to fight for a future. The crowd had faded. The voices of the tribunal were now a memory. Jack, Naraya, and baby Aaron stood in the quiet halls outside the chamber. They had won the right to stay together. But peace did not come. Naraya looked around, her eyes sharp. They will not stop, she whispered. They gave us what we wanted, but they did not give us safety. Jack nodded. He felt the same. Something in the way the tribunal ended felt strange, like it was planned, like someone behind the scenes had let them win. Rena met them at the entrance of the lower levels. I have something to show you, she said. It is time. You saw the truth. She led them deep into the oldest parts of the station. Lights flickered overhead. The walls were covered in dust and history. These were places forgotten by most, but not by all. Jack held Aaron close as they walked. Naraya stayed by his side. Her steps were quiet, but her eyes were full of questions. They stopped at a heavy door made of black metal. Rena placed her hand on a scanner. The door opened with a slow groan. Inside was a large room filled with machines, broken beds, and glass. Tubes. This was the first Genesis lab. Rena said it was shut down years ago. But I kept it hidden. Jack stepped inside. The air was cold. The walls were lined with charts, old data, and glowing screens. Strange symbols moved across them. Naraya looked at one of the walls. Her face paled. This is my file, she said, and this is yours. Jack looked where she pointed. There were his pictures, his medical history, his DNA patterns, all taken without his knowledge. This is where they chose us, Rena said. This is where they built the child. Jack stepped closer to a table. He saw more files, more human faces, names. He did not know, faces from Earth. There were others, he said. How many? 15 attempts, Rena said. You are the first to survive. The others failed, not because of biology, but because of the lack of human presence. Naraya covered her mouth. They let the children die. Rena nodded slowly. They believed human emotion was only a theory, something to observe, not something real. They created life to test feelings. Jack's hands tightened. Who gave this order? The council, Rena said, and behind them, the Shadow Corps. Jack had never heard that name before. What is the Shadow Corps? Rena looked around, checking the walls. They are a group that exists outside the law. They control the council from behind. They run secret programs. They decide who is born and who is erased. Naraya stepped closer to Rena. Why are you telling us this now? Because Aaron is not just your son, Rena said. He is proof. Proof that love is not weakness. Proof that humanity is more than they understood. Jack looked at Aaron. The baby was awake now, his eyes wide, his small hands reaching out toward the light. They will come for him, Jack said. They will not stop until they erase everything. Rena walked to a hidden panel. She pressed it. A drawer opened, revealing a small device. This is a data key, she said. It holds everything. All the records, all the experiments, every lie. Jack took the key and placed it in his pocket. What do we do with it? You go to Earth, Rena said. Broadcast it. Show your people. Show the galaxy. Let them see what has been done. Naraya shook her head. They will block the transmission the moment we try to send it. They will destroy us. There is one path, Rena said. A ship hidden in the lower hangar. Old, but fast. It can take you to the edge of neutral space. From there, Earth can receive the message. Jack looked at Naraya. Will you come with me? Naraya nodded. I will go wherever our son needs us. Rena handed them a small map. It showed tunnels, codes, and checkpoints. You must leave tonight, she said. They already know too much. Jack turned to Voron, who had entered the room silently. You knew about this? Voron looked tired. I knew some. I stayed quiet for too long. But your courage woke something in me. I will buy you time. I will distract them. You will die, Naraya said. Perhaps, Voron replied, but the truth must live. Jack reached out and took Voron's hand. Thank you. They moved quickly through the tunnels. The station above had changed. Patrols were thicker. Eyes were watching. They passed through narrow ducts, crawled through old vents, avoided security drones. Every step was dangerous. Every second mattered. At one point, Jack slipped. He held Aaron close. Naraya caught his arm. We're almost there, she whispered. Don't stop now. They reached the hangar. It was a vast space filled with broken ships. At the far end sat an old craft, rusted on the outside but still breathing. This is it, Rena said. I've been hiding it for years. Jack stepped inside. The ship's systems lit up. Earth tech had been installed. Someone had been planning this for a long time. They placed Aaron in a small seat. The child looked around, wide-eyed and calm. Jack took the pilot chair. I've never flown before, he said. You'll figure it out, Naraya replied. You always do. The engines started. The floor shook. Lights turned red. They know we're leaving, Rena shouted. Go now. Jack pulled the lever. The ship lifted. Lasers flashed outside. Drones fired. Walls exploded. But the ship pushed through. Into the stars, into freedom. Jack looked at the screen. Earth was still far away, but hope was closer than ever. Aaron made a soft sound. Naraya picked him up. He's calm, she said. He trusts us. Jack smiled. Let's show the galaxy what love looks like. The stolen ship flew through deep space. Stars blurred outside the windows. Jack sat in the pilot's seat, his hands tight on the controls. The hum of the engines filled the cabin. Every sound, every flicker of light kept his nerves on edge. Behind him, Naraya held baby Aaron close. She wrapped him in a soft blanket found in the storage room. The baby slept peacefully, unaware that the most powerful force in the galaxy was chasing them. Jack checked the scanner. We have to ships following, he said. Fast ones. The Thari hunters. They're closing in. Naraya looked at the screen. They won't stop. Not until we're gone or dead. Then we don't stop either. Jack said, pushed the throttle. The ship jumped. Faster. The engines shook. Lights flickered. But they kept going. Jack had never flown before. Not really. He had worked on machines, repaired systems, fixed broken things. But now he was flying for his life, for his son, for something more than just survival. Ahead was a red cloud, a field of cosmic dust and radiation. Jack pointed at it. What's that? Naraya leaned forward. The maelstrom. It scrambles sensors. If we go through it, they'll lose our trail. But we might not come out. Jack looked at her, then at Aaron. The baby stirred in his sleep. I'll take the chance, he said. Steered the ship into the red cloud. Instantly, alarms screamed, lights dimmed. Static filled the speakers. Naraya held onto Aaron tightly. Steady, she said, keep the ship level outside. Glowing winds crashed against the hull. The ship rattled, like it would fall apart. Jack gritted his teeth. Come on, hold together. Just a little more. The scanners went blank. Everything outside turned red and white, then black dot and silence. Jack stared at the controls. Did we make it? Naraya checked the back sensors. They're gone. We lost them. Jack leaned back. He took a deep breath. Good. Now let's get home. Naraya looked at him. Earth is still far. At least 3 jumps, maybe more. Jack nodded. Then we make every one count. They took turns piloting the ship. When Jack rested, Naraya flew. When Naraya slept, Jack held Aaron and watched the stars. On the second night, Jack sat in the back, rocking Aaron gently. The child looked up at him with wide blue eyes. You don't even know what we're doing, Jack whispered. You didn't ask for any of this, but you're still fighting, just by breathing. That's more courage than most people I've known. Naraya watched from the doorway. He hears your voice. He feels your heart. That's why he's still alive. Jack looked up. I didn't know I could feel this way. I didn't know I could love someone I just met. But I do. Naraya stepped closer. So do I. For a moment, nothing moved. The ship was silent. The stars outside burned quietly. Then the alarm beeped. Jack jumped up and ran to the controls. What is it? Naraya checked the screen. A jump gate. Ahead. It's old, but still active. A direct path to Earth. Jack said activated the gate. A swirl of blue light formed in front of the ship. They entered the gate. For a moment, everything stretched. Time slowed. Light bent around them. Then they came out near a small planet. Jack checked the readings. This isn't Earth. Naraya frowned. No, but it's close. A refuel station. We can recharge and jump again. They landed on the dusty moon. The station looked abandoned. Broken towers, flickering lights. A thick wind blew across the surface. They stepped out. Jack held Aaron close. Naraya walked ahead. Inside the station was quiet. Old machines clicked softly. A single drone floated by. Jack found the refuel panel and connected the ship. We'll be ready in 20 minutes, he said, but something felt wrong. Naraya stepped beside him. Do you hear that? Jack listened. At first, nothing. Then a hum, low and deep. He turned. A ship descended behind them, sleek, black, silent. The council found us, Naraya said. They ran back to the ship. Jack strapped Aaron in. Naraya jumped into the co-pilot seat. The enemy ship opened fire. Blasts hit the ground around them. Dust exploded. The station shook. Jack pulled the controls. Not today. The ship lifted. More blasts came. One hit the wing. Sparks flew. They rose into the sky. Jack turned hard. Naraya activated the shields. One hit like that, and we won't make the next jump, she said. We don't need another hit, Jack said. Just one clear shot. He steered toward a narrow canyon. The enemy followed. The walls grew tighter. Sharp turns. Jagged rocks. Naraya pointed. There. If we pass that arch, we can boost out. Jack nodded. He flew straight. Faster. Closer. The ship scraped the rocks. Metal tore. But they made it. He hit the boost. The ship jumped forward. Behind them, the enemy hit the rocks. Fire filled the canyon. They escaped. Jack exhaled. That was too close. Naraya checked the child. He's fine. Just sleeping. Jack smiled. Like nothing happened. They reached open space again. The next jump was ready. This one will take us close to Earth, Naraya said, but the moment we get there, they'll try to stop us from sending the truth. Jack looked at the small data key. This holds everything. The experiments, the lies, the children they lost. Naraya placed her hand on his. Then we send it to the people. Let them decide. Jack started the jump. This time, there was no fear. Just purpose. The stars around them faded, and Earth waited on the other side. The ship emerged from the jump with a jolt. Lights blinked across the dashboard. Jack leaned forward and stared through the front window. There it was, Earth, blue oceans, green land, white clouds curling around the surface. It looked just like he remembered, but something inside him had changed. Behind him, Nariah stepped forward, carrying Aaron. The child opened his eyes and smiled at the sight of Earth. Even though he had never seen it, something in him seemed to recognize it. Jack turned to Nariah. "We're home," Nariah nodded. "It's beautiful, so full of color. Your world breathes like a living thing." Jack smiled. "It is. And now we're going to wake it up." He pulled the ship into orbit. Alarms blinked across the panel. "Incoming communication." Nariah said, "Earth Control. They want to know who we are." Jack opened the channel. "This is Jack Carter, human citizen. I'm returning from an off-world abduction. I have information that must be seen by Earth authorities. It's urgent." There was a long pause. Then a voice answered. "Jack Carter, you are not authorized to enter without clearance. Please remain in orbit." Jack closed the channel. "They're stalling, probably waiting for military backup." Nariah touched his shoulder. "We need to send the data now, before they block the signal." Jack reached for the data key. He connected it to the ship's main console. A screen lit up, images flashed, files opened. Reports from the Genesis program, test logs, names, faces, medical scans, dead children, secret labs. Nariah's face turned pale. They did all this in the name of science. Jack felt sick. His hand hovered over the transmit button. "I'm sending it." He pressed the key. The ship shook. "Signal blocked," Nariah said. "An Earth defense system just fired a scramble beam." "They don't want the truth," Jack said. "They're afraid of what this will expose." Nariah looked at Aaron. "Then we take him to the surface. Let the world see him with their own eyes." Jack nodded. He set a course for Earth. The ship entered the atmosphere. Clouds rushed past the windows. Lights glowed across the ground below. They landed near an old facility, a research base Jack once worked at, hidden in the mountains. Still safe, still quiet. Jack stepped out first. The air felt different, fresh, full of life. Nariah followed with Aaron wrapped in a blanket. They entered the building. It was dark, dusty, but Jack found the control room. He powered up the systems. Old screens flickered to life. He connected the data key again. "This system isn't linked to the network," Nariah said. "Can it send the message?" Jack smiled. "I built this room before I left Earth, before any of this. I built it with a direct channel to the global news grid." He pressed a button. A new screen lit up. It showed the live feed. Waiting for a signal, he turned on the camera. "You ready for this?" Jack asked. Nariah stood beside him. Aaron rested in her arms. "Let them see us," she said. Jack looked into the camera. "My name is Jack Carter. I'm from Earth. I was taken without my knowledge. My DNA was used to create a child. That child is here, alive, breathing, real. He is my son." He paused. "He is also the result of a secret program, a test done by off-world leaders. Children were created. Most of them died. Because love was not part of the plan." He stepped aside so the camera could see Aaron. "This is Aaron. He was not supposed to live, but he did. Because I held him. Because I stayed. Because human love kept him alive." Nariah spoke next. "I was told that emotion was weakness, that love had no purpose. But I learned from this man, from this child, that emotion is life, it is power, and it must be protected." Jack stepped back into frame. "I'm sending this message to every leader on Earth, every citizen, every scientist. Look at him. He exists, and the truth exists with him." He pressed the send button. The message spread across satellites, across screens, into homes and offices, into military bases and universities, across the world. People watched. Some cried. Some were shocked. Some turned away. But the truth had landed. Jack stepped away from the console. "It's done." Nariah looked at him. "What happens now?" "Now we wait," Jack said, "and we hope they choose to be human that night." They stayed inside the base. Jack sat by the window, watching the stars. Nariah joined him. "You miss your old life?" Jack shook his head. "I miss the version of me that didn't know any better, but I don't want to go back. I want to move forward with us," she asked softly. Jack looked at her. "With all of us." She leaned her head against his shoulder. Aaron slept in the next room. The next morning, a noise came from outside. Jack rushed to the window. A convoy of Earth vehicles approached. Soldiers stepped out. A man in a suit walked toward the building. Jack opened the door. The man introduced himself. "My name is Director Harlow, Earth Council Special Security." Jack stood tall. "You saw the message?" "Yes," Harlow said, "and we believe you." Jack exhaled. "So what now?" "We want to speak with the child. We want to learn, to understand, and we want to protect him, just like you did." Jack turned to NERIH. She nodded, then turned to Harlow. "We'll speak, but not as prisoners, as family." Harlow smiled. "Agreed." For the first time, Jack felt peace. He had come home, not just to Earth, but to something deeper, to what made him human. Morning light streamed through the high windows of the Earth Research Base. The air felt different now, warmer, quieter. Jack stood by the window, holding Aaron in his arms. The child looked out with wide blue eyes, curious and calm. Behind them, Nariah sat at the edge of a metal bench. Her fingers brushed through her hair slowly. She looked at Jack, then at the Earth soldiers standing at a distance. "They're still watching us," she said quietly. Jack nodded. "They're not sure what to do yet, but I think they want to understand, not destroy." The door opened. Director Harlow stepped in, holding a small device. His face was calm, but his eyes showed something new. "Respect, we have a situation," he said. Jack stepped forward. "What now?" "The Dathari Council sent a message. They know you're here. They saw your broadcast, and now they want her back." Jack looked at Nariah. "Back where?" "To Dather," Harlow said. "They claim she violated genetic laws. They say she belongs to them, and they want to take her for trial." Jack's jaw tightened. "She's not going anywhere without a fight." Harlow raised a hand. "I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to give you a choice." Jack waited. "You can stay here, raise the child in peace. The council will not come to Earth unless we give them permission. But there's a second part. Nariah must make the decision herself. Earth will not protect her if she chooses to return." Nariah stood slowly. Her eyes stayed on Jack. "They will punish me," she said. "They will strip my name, my rights. I may never return if I go back. But if I stay, they may see me as a traitor forever." Jack stepped closer. "You don't owe them anything. You have a family now. You have us, but I was born there." Nariah said, "My roots are in that world. I never belonged, but I was still shaped by it." She looked at Aaron. "He is both human and Dathari. If I leave my people forever, will he lose part of who he is?" Jack shook his head. "He will know who he is because we love him, not because of where he came from." Harlow handed her a device. 1 hour, that's all we can give. After that, we must respond." He turned and left the room. The door closed. Silence returned. Nariah sat back down. Jack sat beside her. Aaron rested between them, wrapped in a soft cloth. Jack looked at her with steady eyes. "If you want to go, I won't stop you. I'll raise him. I'll protect him. You'll always be a part of him. But if you stay, we build something new, together. You and me." And Aaron. Nariah looked at the floor. "When I first agreed to the Genesis program, I thought I was making a personal choice. But I was being used, a name on a file, a body in a lab." She looked at Jack now. "But then I saw you, and I saw him, and for the first time, I felt real. I felt chosen, not by a program, by life." She touched Aaron's cheek. "He gave me something no one ever could, a reason to become more than I was." Jack placed his hand over hers. "We're not perfect, but we fight for what matters. That's what makes us human." Nariah took a deep breath. "I want to stay, but I can't run from the past. If I don't face them, they will come after us forever. They will call me a thief, a criminal. They will twist Aaron's story until it becomes a lie." Jack frowned. "Then what are you saying?" "I want to go back," she said. "Not to leave you, to tell the truth, to stand before them and speak for the children they erased, to speak for Aaron." Jack's voice cracked. "That could mean death." She nodded. "Then let them try. I am not afraid anymore." Jack looked down at Aaron. "He needs his mother." Nariah smiled. "And he will have her. I will return. I swear it. I will walk back into the fire. But I will not stay there. I will fight my way home, back to both of you." Jack said nothing. He simply pulled her into a tight embrace. That no promises, no goodbye, just connection. Our past. A second ship arrived on the base platform, sleek, cold, silent. Nariah stood tall. She wore a plain white cloak. Her face showed no fear. Jack held Aaron at the doorway. Naraya stepped forward and kissed the child on the forehead. Then she looked into Jack's eyes. I love you, both of you. Jack nodded. We'll be here, waiting. No matter how long it takes. She turned and boarded the ship. It rose into the sky and vanished into the stars. Time passed. Weeks. Then months. Jack stayed on Earth. He raised Aaron with care. The child grew stronger. He laughed. He learned. He played with shadows and light. And every night, Jack told him stories. Stories of a mother who crossed stars. Stories of love that broke systems. Stories of hope. Then one morning, a light appeared. In the sky, a ship landed near the same platform where Naraya once left. Jack rushed to the window. His heart pounded. The door opened. She stepped out. Alive. Free. Changed. But whole. She ran to them. Jack met her halfway. No words. Just arms around each other. Tears. Laughter. And Aaron clapping his hands. The family was whole again. Not because the world allowed it, but because love demanded it. They chose each other. Again. And again. And nothing in the galaxy could break that choice.